Day 26 is done. It is 11:05. I should be in bed. I have an excuse this time for being up late. College football started. Really, it started today, and I was staying tuned to the Boise State USF game, and then also Cincinnati, Nebraska, which is in halftime right now. Cannot believe Boise State lost in that much of a dominant fashion. They were in the college football playoff last year, so it's insane to see them in that state. Anyways, but it's not about college football. We're going to be talking about what I did today, and I think today was a interesting day, okay? And I want to go right off the gate and say this. For sale by owner, actually called one today. So I made 5 cold calls. So I'm doing a progressive overload with my cold calling. So I did 1 yesterday, left a voicemail. I did 5 today. 4 of them were a voicemail. 1 of them was a actual contact. So I have about a 20% contact rate. I believe a good contact rate is about 10%, I want to say. So it was good being able to reach out to people. I'll be doing 10 calls tomorrow. Now, I want to talk more about the cold call that I made when I called this gentleman because it was a pretty interesting experience. So Tyler and I have been working a lot together, okay? And him and I bounce off each other very well as far as ideas and stuff like that goes. I'm afraid sometimes I keep him a little bit distracted just because, I enjoy talking with him and we always have interesting stuff to say. But sometimes it kind of takes us off course. I'm glad I was able to get what I wanted to get done, but he was just coaching me through the whole calling for sale by owners process. And so I called my first for sale by owner. It was a $1.7 million listing in Carmel. Okay, so it was like a very high-end, rich mansion, essentially. And so I called the guy, and he gave me the stiff arm almost immediately. He was like, I already got 10, 12 calls from realtors. This sounds like a lead conversation. I'm not going to work with you, blah, blah, blah. Just straight up, get the fuck away from me. So what did I decide to do? Well, instead of me being argumentative against the for sale by owner and being like, well, you need my business, or all right, bye, as soon as he started to really throwing these objections at me, I just began to just say, okay, that's fine, that's okay, I just want to know more about the home. So what I decided to do in that call was I decided to transition to just wanting to know more about the home. I didn't ask about business. I didn't ask for an appointment. I just said, tell me more about the home. It's been on the market for 88 days, median days on market 67. What's going on? Have you gotten any offers, any open houses, anything like that? Didn't say anything about that. He just told me I don't want to work with realtors. So he wasn't going to give me any information. And so I just ended up saying okay, that's fine. If I ever find a buyer that is interested in your home, I'll let you know. And then end the call there. So I wasn't being rude or anything about it. I was a little upset that he didn't just say what was going on. It was very much like, I won't even give you info, which I don't think benefits anybody, Because, even if you're a for sale by owner, that doesn't mean that you can't have help with an agent, right? And so, if you're not going to be willing to share that stuff, that's probably why it's been sitting for so long, right? With that being said, though, there were some things I needed to work on. One of them was getting straight to the point, more on why I was calling. I think I sort of was talking a little bit too much on, I just want to ask questions about the home, and I didn't actually say what the questions were. So it's important for me to go ahead and actually dive deeper into that faster. But, you live and you learn. And so I didn't think it was a bad call at all. From what I know, it sounded like it was more of an adversarial call than most of them would be, probably because of the list price. And honestly, the type of people that buy those homes are likely to be more assertive. And if you're a for sale by owner in a home like that, I'm sure there's a strong reason for it. But I made my 5 calls, and that's all that matters. That was fantastic. So I did not finish this day with any guilt, actually. Because I made my goal. So what we're going to do is Tyler and I decided that we are going to meet up at 8:10, and then we're going to spend an hour calling for sale by owners. So I'll be calling 10 of them. That is the goal. So I'm like I said, I'm doing progressive overload. And I'm calling throughout Carmel, Hamilton County, Northern Indy, stuff like that, right? Anyways, that was the morning. So what did I do for the rest of the day? So I spoke with Tyler, and I spoke with the administration lady, Ashley, very, very sweet receptionist. And so they were being very nice and giving me a lot of words of encouragement. And it goes back to what I was talking about yesterday, because I often have a hard time giving myself credit where credit's due, right? So I told them, I said, what are some things I did that are good? Well, everyone's telling me I'm doing the right thing. Everyone's telling me I'm going to be just fine. But for some reason, I keep telling myself I'm not making enough contacts. I'm not generating enough leads. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing enough. And I'm just feeling like it's a disappointment so far this next month. But everyone's telling me the contrary. And I don't think it's because of flattery. I genuinely don't. I don't think people in the office are there to flatter, especially if you've proven that you've been and showing up every day. Which I have been, and really I've been the only agent that's been onboarded the past several weeks, months, whatever it may be, that actually shows up in the office every day. Now, of course, with that being said, there's agents that join teams, there's agents that don't do this full time, you know what I mean? Like, so you kind of have to cut it down, but I sure as hell don't see people my age doing that, which is, you know, it makes me feel pretty special, it makes me feel good about myself, but at the same time, we'll see where that goes. So they gave me words of encouragement. Always happy to hear. I feel the best when people tell me good things because, like I said before, I rarely tell myself good things about myself. I usually look into the negative, and so my coaching style or the way I like to be coached is more positive reinforcement than maybe some other people. And that's not because I like to have a high self-image and like boast about myself, but it's because I genuinely always focus on the negative when it comes to my own performance. And sometimes I just need that encouragement for me to keep going. Really, I do. Because as soon as people start pressing it down on me, telling me I'm not this, you're not doing this right, and no real sense of positivity coming from it, it kills me from the inside. So I think Tyler knows that. And again, like, he's been so helpful and very grateful to be working with him. Genuinely, like, one of my favorite people to talk to probably my favorite person to talk to in the office, because he understands how I learn, and that's huge, right? So after that, we were going over social media, and we started talking a little bit about the business, the industry of real estate, and kind of just talking about the type of people that might get into it because they want to impress others on social media and try to have an inflated self-image. Really, it was a little bit of gossip, trying to mask it as just critiques or try to mask it as just stating something. But I think for me, at least, it comes down to like envy, which is never good. Because like I said before, the people that boast about that stuff on social media often grow up with rich families, rich parents, like, you know, got everything they wanted as a kid or whatever. And maybe that's not true. You know, maybe I'm making large assumptions. But that's just something I'm going to have to cut out, honestly. I get that from my mom. I get that from my twin brother. I mean, it's just something I'm going to have to cut in my life. Not to say, like, it's not bad to critique. It's just talking about it so much, you know. I think for me, it's just something that I probably need to cut down a little bit. And this has nothing to do with Tyler. It's more so like with me because I'm usually the one that brings it up, right? But after that, I scheduled 2 open houses. So I got 1 open house in Westfield from Kyle Engel, and then I have an open house in Fishers. So I've only done 1 open house outside of Westfield, and that is in Indianapolis. So the Fishers one will be interesting. And last time I hosted an open house in Fishers was my day 1 video. Interesting, huh? So that's pretty cool. Anyways, I got 2 of those hosted. I got my open house signs are coming tomorrow. I'm excited to get those set up on Saturday. So that's going to be a great time. And then after that, I mean, I'm looking forward to having that hosted. On top of that, what else did I do? Well, I did not complete my MLS hot sheets like I usually do. So typically, I will fill out the MLS hot sheets entirely, which if you don't know what that is, it's all the homes that just got active on the market or like have an update. So for example, it'll show me all the homes within today that just got listed, that just got sold, that are now pending, that expired. And it's like an update for that day in particular. So it's like up to date, which is awesome. There were a lot of new listings today, which I found interesting. I'm wondering if it's because we're getting closer to the fall and school's been settled and we're about to get into the first week of September. So that's probably why. Outside of that, what else did I do? I mean, really, that's about all I did, really. I mean, I did my MLS hot sheets. I posted on social media of the open houses. I haven't done the video, like the marketing videos yet, but I will. I'll get there. And I'm only doing one for Westfield because of my brand, but I think it's going to be a good time. So I'm proud with what I did today. And even though I didn't do everything perfectly today, I'm just glad I got my cold calling done. That is huge. And again, I give Tyler so much credit for that. So now that that's over with, we got about 11 minutes into this video. Let's start reflecting again more on getting closer to the 1 month mark. I think the big thing I need to think about moving forward is making contacts and just getting in front of people talking about real estate. So open houses are great for that. You know, obviously I would like to talk to more people at my church, at the gym. I actually haven't attended in-person church yet, which is insane. I really need to get onto that. I did a showing in Cicero, so there's that. Did call my buyer gentleman who I toured, who I thought could be my client. He just ghosted me, but I'm still following up with him. So that's one thing, is getting more in front of people, getting in front of more people about real estate. Second thing is actually sticking to lead follow-up. Being real honest with you, I am terrible with lead follow-up. Like my open houses, I might send one text and that's it. I'm not even kidding. And I should have a lead follow-up system I use. I just don't know why I just don't use it. It's crazy. Again, I keep having people not filling stuff out, so that's been a challenge. And I'm kind of at that point where having an iPad and making people type everything in is going to help. But then again, they could just fake things, right? So you never know. So I think that's going to be, I keep saying that's going to be good. I'm going to enjoy that. So those two things, lead follow-up and just getting in front of more people. I mean, that's really what it's going to boil down to in September. But let's keep talking about the good. What are the good things I did? Again, I'm more of an expert in the market than I've ever been. I know way more about Westfield, way more about Hamilton County, way more about real estate. I spoke with Sean Hartwick, and he said the same thing, you know? Like, there's not much that goes into it. It sounds like it's very complicated, but really, if you simplify it, of what goes on in real estate, it's honestly not. It's just very simple. So I would say those two things are things I really need to work on. But it's good that I acknowledge that and I'm aware of it. So I would say becoming more of an expert in the local market. So that's something that's been helping me a lot. Learning from people who are more experienced than me and just learning from people in general. I show up every day. Even though sometimes I might show up an hour later, that means I leave an hour later. So I'm showing up every day. Every day. I have not missed a single day. Like, there's not a single day I can even imagine myself just sitting here rotting in bed. No way. I mean, I can't even afford it, right? So I'm proud of myself being consistent in that. So consistency equals key. And maybe I'm getting confused on what actually is consistency. Because maybe consistency isn't doing the same scripts over and over again. Maybe consistency is showing up every day. Keep asking questions. Keep being involved in the office. Keep doing some lead generation stuff. Maybe that's consistency. If that's the case, then I am consistent. And that is the path to success, so therefore I'll be successful. Everyone's saying it, so I might as well just keep buying into them, because if I don't buy into myself, I mean, then it's not going to happen. And if experts are saying that about me, then I might as well believe them, right? Believe in them that believes in me. Kind of like from Gurren Lagann. Okay. So one thing I wanted to talk about, I think about donating plasma. I just randomly saw this ad on Facebook that said, hey, you can get up to $750 donating plasma. Dude, even just $150 by doing like one donation a week or one donation every 2 days. I mean, that pays my car insurance. So I'm actually thinking about doing that. It was either that or being a freaking sperm donor. You can get a 1,000. This is so off topic, but you can get. I saw this on Facebook. You can get $1,500 a month off of being a sperm donor, and it's like cool, but like the idea of me having kids out there that are mine, but like I'm not in there. Like that's so. That just would really mess with me. So I was like, no, thank you. And like, yeah, sure, you can look at it like I'm helping families, but really, my mind just does not operate like that. Like if I have like an offspring that has my DNA, like that's my kid. I think plasma, like, I mean, it's just me, right? So, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I get paid less than if I were a sperm donor, but whatever. So I'm thinking about that. It's a good way to make quick money. DoorDashing. I know DoorDashing is kind of like a funny thing because like, oh, you're a college graduate and you're DoorDashing. You can make pretty decent money DoorDashing, and really the driving around Westfield is not like Bloomington. And I DoorDashed in Bloomington. It was awful. Here, it's not that bad. On top of that, you're also learning more about the cities, Hamilton County in general. So you're learning a lot, right? So again, there's ways for me to generate revenue. And the more I get embedded in this industry, the less I actually think I'm going to have to find a full-time job. I say that just because everyone's telling me that won't happen. So again, I'm believing them. Oh, these are business cards. I love collecting business cards, so I just have like a ton of them right here. All right, so what's the plan tomorrow? Well, I'm calling 10 for sale by owners tomorrow. I think what I want to do tomorrow with those is put them in my CRM if I see them as a potential lead and just keep following up with them. Really like making a FSBO lead follow-up system. And honestly, probably not even trying to set the appointment like that day or that time I call. Maybe just like giving them information, saying, hey, I'll be a resource for you, right? So figuring out the lead follow-up with that, I think, is going to be important. After that, I am going to Kyle Engel's listing, and I'm going to be making a marketing video on my social media. After that, TikTok. I am making a TikTok account. I need to. It's just something that just needs to happen. It's a very local app, and honestly, I think I have interesting eyes in the camera, and I know a lot of people on YouTube like that. They like green hazel eyes. So maybe me having the Riz eyes might attract people on TikTok or whatever. After that, I want to start buying my branded clothing. So I want to buy something that's got my logo on it, Ponzo Real Estate. Which I think I have my business card back here. I can show you guys my logo. You see it in all of my videos, but you can't really see it. But yeah, Ponzo Real Estate. Expertise, ethics, and excellence are my mottos. So, cool. All right, it's 11:30. I have to be in the office by 8:10. And we're going to go ahead and have a great day tomorrow. I think tomorrow is going to be very well, and things are looking better, okay? Like I said, this week was going to help a lot. I really do think this has been an extremely good week. So let's go ahead and cap it off well on Friday. Saturday open house, and IU football is playing against Old Dominion. Oh, I want to go so bad. Oh, man. Like, I miss football so bad. So, speaking of which, if I have my phone on me. Oh, before I leave, let's check the score for IU and Nebraska. Let's just see. Like, last time I checked, Nebraska was winning by 10 points. Oh, Cincinnati just got a touchdown. 13-10. Wow, that just happened too. Interesting. I love sports. Seriously, I think a part of my brand of real estate needs to be about sports. Genuinely that, going to the gym, listening to music. Like I love rock music. Like not like typical rock, but like emo, pop punk, metal, like Linkin Park, A Day to Remember, 3 Days Grace, Slipknot, Papa Roach, like those bands. Absolutely love that. I love that type of music. And, it wouldn't hurt for me to have that as a part of my brand as well. So, anyways, guys, we're going to be done with this. Day 27's tomorrow. Let's go ahead and crack it off. Also, This was a very old t-shirt when we won conference in junior high. All right. Have a great night, guys. Sleep well.